Welcome back to the Happy Clients podcast. If you have been listening for a while, you know that we chat all day, every day with agency owners just like you. And there's a lot of things that come up time and time again. And we wanted to jump on and talk about when maybe you might consider training your account manager to up-level their skills, or maybe it's time to hire someone else for this role. And we help agency owners kind of walk through the different options every single day. So hopefully this episode will give you a little bit of insight into whether you have the right hire or maybe it's time to hire someone else. So let's get into today's episode.
Welcome to the Happy Clients podcast, brought to you by Dot & Company. Whether you're a virtual assistant, an agency owner, or a client-facing account manager, we all deal with clients. Lucky for you, client management is what we do best. Now, let's dig in, chat cam life, and have some fun along the way. Cheers to happy clients.
I think it's really important before we kind of dive in, Taylor, is to even acknowledge, because I don't know if I'm super cynical in my life or too reactionary or whatever, but I am so surprised at the agencies that have people on board. Maybe they're just not hitting all the marks, but they really want to keep them on board and investing in those people. It's so wonderful to see that people really value sort of just a really awesome team member, and to have something available to level up their skills is really something that we're seeing a lot of agency owners come to us for, which is a little surprising to me. I hate to admit it, but you think of needing something, and if somebody's not hitting those marks, you might go find it somewhere else. But I just love that people are really investing, like I said, in those account managers and those people that are existing on their team and fit in with the culture. And those are such great qualities to even just start from.
Mm-hmm. So high level, here are 4 things that we look for when it comes to the quality of an account manager. And we'll dig into all these. So number 1, personality. Number 2 is confidence. Number 3 is their speed of communication. And number 4 is their quality of communication and attention to detail. So when it comes to number 1, personality, Katie, what do you look for? Because you do all the hiring here at Dot, but what do you look for when it comes to an account manager, whether they're working here or in another agency? Personality.
Yeah. So I think there's an organic charisma that I look for, which is kind of impossible to just detail, but it's just being that people person and really comfortable. I don't even know if it's extroverted. I often call myself an introvert extrovert. I can talk to a wall. I can talk to anything, but being calm in myself and my space is also a place that brings me joy. So it's not the life of the party. It's not the chatty McChatterbox. It's that person that can really handle both sides, where you're listening, but then you also have this kind of person to person, just empathy and charisma. So it is kind of hard to describe, but I think another piece of that personality is also goes into work ethic. You're really driven. You really love kind of doing a good job. Maybe you're a people pleaser, which, is good and bad sometimes, but there are kind of these key personality traits that just really align with what a really awesome account manager should have. And that's definitely some of them. This kind of very organic charisma, this sort of balance between extrovert and introvert. It's be the person that's there client facing, but also be the person that can get it done and buckle down and really play both sides, as they say.
It's like a feeling when you meet somebody. It's like this, could you trust them with your clients, which kind of comes into number 2, which is confidence. So when we're chatting with potentially account managers, whether they're here or in a different agency, we're looking for, are they confident in what they're talking about? Do they understand marketing? Can they speak to strategy? Can they get on a call and actually open the call and be confident to do that and to lead it? And obviously, those are things that we look for when hiring here, but also when we're training other account managers and other agencies, we're looking for this confidence piece. And it's something that we do a lot of training in our training programs, but it's this thing that we really want to make sure that account managers have in order to be in this role, because this role is very client facing. It's very front and center relationship building. If you're not confident, then it's going to definitely show in your client reactions.
And even that confidence comes from working inside of an agency, right? Like you've been there for a minute, you have relationships with the internal team members. It's that extra piece, that client facing, that account management piece that you might need to build up a little bit. But that confidence is something that can certainly come from just being empowered and really comfortable in the agency you're working with, which I think is pretty special. We do work with people that seem to know a lot about the industry, but need that client facing piece. So knowing that knowledge, like I said, that empowerment is really special, and really contributes to that confidence. And when you are in front of a client, not even showing those emotions like, oh, snap, something just went wrong. They're coming at me hard. Like you have to be really sort of confident in that space, knowing that things are going to go up and down sometimes, but that it's figure outable and things are easily resolved as quick as they come up sometimes. So I think confidence has like so many layers outside of just like, I'm the best client account manager ever, but it does kind of just translate into how you're speaking and even how you function internally inside the agency.
Mhm. So number 3 is speed of communication. So as an account manager, you need to be quick on your feet. That is the whole point of having an account manager because generally agency owners are slow to respond. So you want to make sure that your account manager is on top of things. They're speedy, obviously like in an efficient way so that they're not just getting distracted all day, but making sure that they are confident and able to respond really quickly to clients is definitely something we look for in an account manager, like in terms of being that 5-star quality account manager.
And I think it comes easy to this type of person sometimes, right? Especially once they've kind of been in the know about how even Dot and Company does it, right? Once they're exposed to account management in a way that, those expectations are set, it does come a lot easier to these really awesome unicorns, like we say, right? So I always use this example, Taylor, and I mean, I couldn't even name drop if I could because I forget who it was, but an agency owner came to us, like literally takes me 3 hours to write an email. And like, what an inefficient use of anybody's time. So having that speed of communication that's effective and really sort of organic and relationship based sometimes too is really helpful in an account manager.
Speaking of emails, number 4 is the quality of communications and attention to details. So something again that's really hard to describe, but it's how does this email make you feel? How are you communicating to clients in a meaningful way? All these things that go into the communication, which is basically the biggest part of our job is communicating with clients or internal team members. So how are they communicating, but also paying attention to the details? So if they're sending a report to a client, well, are they pulling out the necessary information, sending a loom, making it really personable, making sure that that relationship piece is there, but also that the details and it's communicated well. So really just evaluating the quality of communication and attention to detail.
Yeah, so important. And going above and beyond. I know we look for that sometimes too, and really look for that sort of standout quality sometimes yeah, it's like attention to detail, but just to like build that client's trust. One of our cans, Alana, actually said a really great quote one time, really impress them and then gain that trust, right? Those early days, really impress the clients, gain their trust. You know what you're talking about. You're the go-to person. You're the speedy person. You're the knowledgeable person. So that attention to detail and the above and beyond, something we definitely practice here at Dot and Company, but really is a standout piece of being an awesome account manager.
Love that. So those are kind of the 4 qualities that we look for in an account manager. So if you're an agency owner, you're like, oh, my account manager has amazing personality and their communication is really quick, but maybe they could work on confidence or maybe they could work on their attention to detail. Then that's an amazing account manager. And maybe they just need some training. Maybe they need a school like CAM school to go to that we have. So if you're like, yes, okay, I need just some additional help, we can definitely help with that. Reach out, ask for help. But it sounds like you kind of have somebody amazing on your hands. Taking a quick pause on today's episode to talk to you about the beginning of a referral-worthy client experience. I want to introduce you to our complete onboarding package for digital marketing agencies. So this isn't your first rodeo. You know the client experience can make or break a project. Forget the blood, sweat, and tears that you and your team have poured into a project. If the client doesn't feel as important as their project, you won't land those referrals your business is banking on. But who has the time to baby their clients and promise them the results?
The good news is onboarding your clients is the beginning of that referral-worthy client experience and your secret to repeat clients. And in the complete onboarding package, we're showing you how to onboard your clients like professional client account managers. That's us. So what is the complete onboarding package? It is everything you need to know about onboarding. As dedicated client account managers for some of the world's most successful digital marketing agencies, we've onboarded more clients than we can count. We've tried and tested and retested our process to get it perfect. And that is now this complete onboarding package. From the sales call to the launch, the complete onboarding package shows you how we onboarded clients into digital marketing agencies step by step, including the exact tools and templates we use with real clients. You'll get a 24 step-by-step guide, 22 in-depth video tutorials, and more than 18 tools and templates, so you can take action right away, swipe, and implement right into your agency. So if you are an agency, make sure you head over to clientaccountmanager.com/onboarding to get your hands on the complete onboarding package.
So let's kind of fast forward and talk about some red flags in account management that we might look for in an account manager inside of an agency that we might say, I think it's time to hire somebody else.
hmm So if you kind of have somebody who's on your team not really hitting the mark, as they say, you're not really able to be confident in like handing over those client relationships or the management of certain clients or all the clients, I would definitely say that's a red flag. Like you just can't get to that 100% where you are just fully confident in their ability to just take care of your clients, support your clients. And if you can't really get there, I think that's probably a flag that you might want to start looking at something new, maybe somebody new. That doesn't really sound like a great fit for efficiency and even to take that off the agency owner, which client account managers should be doing.
And when maybe they're on a meeting and you might be there, but you're hearing what they're saying. You're like, I just don't feel like their marketing knowledge or marketing strategy isn't up to par for the agency. For example, they might be saying things that aren't correct, or they might be saying things that just don't make sense. Maybe you could train them, or maybe they're just not quite qualified for this role. So that's a red flag that we might look for when it comes to their confidence when speaking to clients with their marketing strategy.
And I think even Taylor, you and I would have learned this like early days too. Like when you know the marketing strategy and you are kind of like looped in on industry sort of, I guess, trends and benchmarks and kind of all the stuff that goes along with digital marketing, that just really elevates your status and the trust and the relationship between account manager and your clients, and therefore even the agency, keeping those relationships super strong. So it's definitely a piece that we look for in a really awesome account manager. And I'm going to even go as far to say as it's necessary because it does just really, even to our earlier point, it lets those agency owners really give those clients and pass those over to a very kind of in tune account manager.
hmm And I think a lot of agency owners will ask us, like, okay, what is the goal of hiring an account manager? And most of the time, our goal for you as the agency owner is to get out of that day-to-day seat. And if you don't have somebody who's qualified to allow you to do that, then it's generally not the right fit because a lot of people will hire people who are junior right out of university or college and they're training them. And that can take 2 years, 3 years. Like,
hmm
we even tried doing that before and it didn't work. And because the amount of time you need to invest in somebody to just understand marketing strategy like we do takes a really long time. So just also understanding like, what do you need out of this account manager? And if you need to get out of communication right away, if somebody doesn't understand the strategy, it's going to take a long time.
And I think it's sometimes not easy, right? Like a lot of people are coming to us, like agency owners are very lean in their kind of employees or people they work with. So a lot of it is so personal to these people, so personal to the agency owner. So even more so to like being that sort of irreplaceable person inside of the agency where it's the right hand person to the agency owner. They understand the strategy, they know what's happening and can just kind of I guess freely, but like very confidently speak to that. I know agency owners love that for sure.
Love it.
And I think something else that is super important to just flag when, kind of deciphering what the next step is for your agency. is if they're self-starters or if they're not. Like, are they entrepreneurial? And we always say this, listen, we don't want you to go out and like make your own business and create your own business and run side hustles, so they say. I want you to be entrepreneurial in the sense of you're independently led. You can actually start things and finish things and really accomplish really great things all day long. So entrepreneurial in the sense of like independence and being, behind a screen on a Zoom call or, living inside of a sauna and being really efficient. So are they self-starters? Are they finding the answers? Are they asking you all the questions all the time? Like, no, I'll just do it myself. You know what I mean? I think that all the time. If someone just keeps hammering you with questions, like comes a point where you're just going to be like, this person does not get it. We got to move on. We have to do something different because they don't have time to answer questions. I may as well just do it myself. 100%. That's like a thought process that goes through agency owners' minds. So that is something that is probably something to look for when kind of deciphering your next move. Is it something that I can hand over? They can do it on their own. Is client account management something that, they can really lead on their own, or is it still requiring a lot of the agency owner's input and guidance?
Mhm. So those are some red flags when it comes to looking at your account manager, trying to figure out if they are the perfect fit or not. So either way, if you need help when it comes to hiring an account manager or maybe training your account manager in-house, you know where to go. Head over to dotandcompany.co and we are more than happy to help you out, have that conversation and kind of guide you in the right direction. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Happy Clients Podcast.
Cheers to happy clients.